Let's get started. Welcome to American Hood Shyt. I'm your host, RAFIQ. First and foremost, I want to say, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Hit the like button. Pass it on to your friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your support. Now let's get this. Today's topic is going to be dealing with putting your hands up. No. I'm sorry. Let me run that back. Putting your hands behind your back. That's where this particular topic today is going, okay? Because it seems as though we're having a hearing problem, okay? Check this out, people. When the police is called and it looks like, it's a possibility you're going to jail. Usually when they say put your hands behind your back, 9 times out of 10, you're going to jail. That 10th time you don't go to jail is when you're only being detained because this officer is scared. So he detains you as a means of a safety precaution for you and him both, while he's just running your ID so you don't run off or whatever, okay? But if you don't have that, well, it's kind of hard to say don't have the demeanor of, look, you're going to break, because they don't know, okay? So let's just say he handcuffed you to detain you to run your ID or whatever, which they shouldn't even do that, because once you learn your rights, technically, if you haven't committed a crime or or he doesn't have any suspicion of you committing a crime, you haven't committed a crime, nor does he have a suspicion that you have or you did commit a crime, then technically he shouldn't be asking you for your ID. I mean, once he asks you for your ID, what crime did you commit? But anyway, we're not going to get into that. What I'm getting into is when they say put your hands behind your back, people, do yourself a favor. Put your hands behind your back. Simple as that, because you got a choice. Either you're going to put your hands behind your back standing up, which is the most preferable way, or you're going to be put in handcuffs on the ground, because once they tell you to lay on the ground, that's usually some bullshit, because they're not going to bend over to put the handcuffs on you. When they tell you to get on the ground, you're about to have handcuffs put on you. They are not going to bend over. When they tell you to get on the ground, here comes some bullshit, okay? Here comes some straight first class bullshit, because that one, whether it's 1, 2, or 3, once you're on the ground, they're going to have to put for some reason, they've got to put their body weight on you to put the handcuffs on you. So there's going to be a knee in your back or a knee on your neck to put handcuffs on you. If you just basically refuse to get on the fucking ground, fuck that. Put your hands behind your back, lock your fingers to show them that you are prepared for them to put handcuffs on you. All the getting on the ground and laying on the ground, none of that. Because that, when you're on the ground, is when usually some bullshit happens, because then that's when the one may have you down. You may be there on the ground initially, and there's one there, but he's called for backup. And as soon as the backup get there and see you on the ground, he jumps out the car, runs over to where that is, and immediately, he comes down with his knee. Immediately. He doesn't walk over there and look to assess the situation. He runs over there as if he's truly needed, as if something's really going on the ground. And he basically pounces on you. He puts his knee on you. Basically, if the other officer's already got his knee on your back in the midsection of you, where your hands are, this other fucker's gonna come in the front of you and put his knee down on your neck, push his hand down on your face. So I'm saying, once you are approached, people, My brothers, once you all are approached and they say, put your hands behind your back, do yourself a favor. Put your hands behind your back. Because you're either going to put them behind your back standing up or on the ground. Those are the only two places you could be, only two positions that they will have you in when they're putting handcuffs on you. Either standing up or on the ground. It's your option. I'm just seeing different little things, man, that we need to, we could prevent certain shit. Now, the 4th of July is approaching us for the weekend. To be honest with you, that holiday, none of their holidays have anything to do with us. I don't know why you all can't seem to get that up here. None of their made-up calendar days have anything to do with us. Think about it. We weren't considered citizens. And this particular 1776, we wasn't included. So we wasn't citizens. That was their particular holiday. So for us to be in the parks celebrating their independence, because they've shown us what sort of independence they have. They're independently enough. They have enough independence to do what they think they could do to us. They're just doing whatever they want to do. So this is their independence. So really on the cool, there's no need for us to be in the parks barbecuing, celebrating, none of the above. Chill out the crib. If you're in the backyard, if you want to throw a little barbecue in the backyard and kick it with you and your family, and you all just, well, technically, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Saturday is the 4th. Wait a minute, today's the 2nd. Yes, Saturday is the 4th. Well, technically, if you really want to know the truth, and to be honest with you, technically, that's the Sabbath day. So we shouldn't be out Saturday spending money, celebrating anything anyway on any Saturday. The actual Sabbath starts on Friday. I've been trying to observe it. Usually Friday evenings before sundown, come in before sundown, try to get washed up, say my prayers, and try to read something, try to read the verse, try to read some verses. But overall, Saturdays, we don't even need to be out Saturday anyway. That's technically the Sabbath day. Everyone tries to go to church on Sunday. That's, but I don't really want to get into that either. But since the fact that the 4th of July is falling on a Saturday, then we shouldn't be out there celebrating that anyway. Let them be out during the day, doing whatever they're doing, celebrating. We shouldn't really come out to after sundown, which is technically, technically sundown Saturday is technically Sunday, technically Saturday, okay? Because technically sundown every day is the next day. We've been taught that midnight is the next day, which that's not what it is. It's sundown, like say it's about sundown now. It's actually 6 o'clock, so the sun's about to go down. So technically right now it's already going into Friday. But that's another subject for another time. But anyway, back to us putting our hands behind our back. Let's be out here on the streets and be smart. If nothing else, we can't control the color of our melanated skin. So, we can't control that. So if they're gonna approach us, there's certain ways that we can, deal with their ass, because this is not the days of yassa massa. Those days are over. We know who these people are. We don't have to deal with that, okay? So now, I'm not gonna hold you all long. I just kind of want to drop this little quick video because I saw a gentleman on a video in a store that was having some problems, because from what it looked like, from what I was able to observe from the video, which of course I didn't see the entire video, but just from the part that I saw, it looked like this mask, this mandatory mask wearing regulation that they've put everyone under, it's mandatory. It's not a law, okay? They haven't went to Congress and voted a law, so they can't say it's a law. It's a mandatory city ordinances. I mean, I don't even think it's quite an ordinance yet, but it's just a mandate from various politicians for their states and their cities to have us wear masks. Okay, fuck it, life goes on. What it appeared as if though there was a white man who was served, looks as though he went to the counter and it didn't look like he had on a mask, okay? And looked like he was given service, and there was a young brother behind him, and when the young brother stepped up to the counter, the young brother didn't have on a mask or whatever it was, okay? But whatever happened, that's what it looked like. So I can't say that's what it was. That's just what it looked. That's what it appeared. When the clerk and the brother got into their little riff, of course, the clerk, first thing they're going to do is, I'm going to call the police. Call the police. However long the brother stayed in there, whatever, the police came. Because, we ain't going to run. If we run for what? Then have some police looking for you and looking for your car on some bullshit. So, call the police. Okay, the police came. The brother was still at the counter. When the officer came, they didn't show everything that questions or whatever, between the officer and the brother, but whatever that they did show was the officer asking the brother, okay, sir, well, just go ahead and put your hands behind your back. You heard that very clear. Well, okay, sir, just go ahead and put your hands behind your back. So by the officer saying that, okay, sir, well, just go ahead and put your hands behind your back. By the officer saying that, that tells me there that there was conversations, and it seems like the officer was trying to de-escalate a situation and not take this man to jail. And since the brother was on his whatever he was on, whatever the rah-rah he was on, the officer finally said, well, okay, sir, okay, we'll go ahead and put your hands behind your back. So the brother didn't want to put his hand, he was still on the rah-rah. Then now he's on the rah-rah really with the officer, with his hands not putting behind his back. His back is already turned toward the officer, because the way he is standing, he's standing toward a counter, and his hands are both extended out, grabbing the counter. So when the officer told him, so we'll go ahead and put your hands behind your back, he extended his arms out and grabbed the counter and started rah-rahing with the officer. So therefore, that made the officer grab his arm and try to pull him off of the counter. And of course, the officer, pulled him off the counter, and a struggle ensued, and they end up on the ground. That video's out, so we've seen it. You all have seen that video. It's out. But the brother ended up on the ground, which we already know the outcome of that. He ended up in those handcuffs like he was told when he was standing up. So I'm going to, get out of here. But basically, I just want to tell you, look, when they say put your hands behind your back, you have two ways to get your hands behind your back. You either gonna let them put the handcuffs on you standing up, or you're gonna have your face flat to the ground with their knees in your back and on your neck to get them handcuffs on you. So put your hands behind your back, black people, and just let it go from there. All the extra riff, hey man, you or your family don't need it. The community don't need it. We don't need it. All right? I'm going to get out of here. Once again, hit like, hit subscribe. I'm just here going to drop you all some, just drop you all just a little jewels, and we're going to keep it moving. All right? Peace.
Yeah, what it do? Yeah, you know what it is. Yeah, MJ. Disaster. Woo. I'm so stoned.